Hi all and welcome to a new video. With Ministravaganza coming to an end last night, and with all the Legion portions over, let's do a wrap up of everything revealed. The first few streams ran over a few new unit announcements and other runovers, so I won't really go into those in depth too much. I'll start at the Battle Force stream and then go right into the brand new roadmap for Legion we have. And I have to say, I am really interested in the next few years of what Legion will bring us, because it seems like the production team has a lot more passion for this project than I thought. This is my first Ministravaganza, and I knew people who love it had to work on it, but the passion that everyone had during these streams and listening to their developments goings on was actually really fascinating and a really interesting look into what exactly AMG Games is doing with Legion. And I do have to say, I think it's in pretty good hands. Starting with the new battle forces, the Republic got a Wookiee Defenders battle force. The allowed units are meant to evoke the feeling of the battle scene in Episode 3, and the Wookiees get a nice solid buff with this, as you can run an almost entirely Wookiee force, and their Fluttercraft get just a little bit stronger. The allowed units are Yoda, a Wookiee Chieftain for a commander. For special forces, you have an Arc and then Wookiee Warriors. For core, you have Phase 2 clones. For support, you have a Bark Speeder and a Fluttercraft. For heavy, you have an ISP or a Saber fighting tank. The special rules are nice and simple. We get core Wookiee Warriors, the Noble Fighters, which are the melee ones, and a speed 1 move whenever the first mini in a Wookiee Trooper unit is defeated each round, allowing your Wookiees to become that much more mobile and deadly. And for the Battle Force, we have a new Fluttercraft unit card as well. Attack Run is a very unique and interesting new addition. It allows you to adjust your speed, which means you can go really far or really slow to make sure those bombing runs are just right. The rest is rather similar to the original, however it does cost a few points more as well, and in general is just slightly better. The Separatists also get a brand new battle force with the Experimental Droids battle force. It is meant to be a more generic invasion force also inspired by Episode 3. The big draw are the 2 new unit cards we get with it that allow you to run experimental droids. The allowed units in the list are a Super Tactical Droid or T-Series Tactical Droid, an RX Series Droid Commando, and an IG-100 Magna Guard, 2 B1 Battle Droid Core, and 2 B-22 Battle Droid Core, up to 2 each, I should say, a Droideka Support, and the heavy Persuader Class Tank Droid, which I recently was a little too harsh on and thought was way worse than it actually is, as comments in that once video proved me wrong. The special rules here are to make your droids that much stronger, with surge tokens that work on friendly AI units. This is meant to buff otherwise weaker units, such as the Droideka, and give more reason to build diverse lists. The actual buffing that can be done is at the start of each activation phase, you can choose up to one of your commander units. If you do, you put 3 surge tokens on the unit card, and it can make friendly units who have the AI keyword perform a free action. It can choose one of the following: increase by speed 1, gain 1 aim or dodge, and add 1 black and 1 white to their attack pool during their next attack this turn, or remove up to 2 suppression tokens. All in all, this is an amazing set of buffs, and a really fun way to run the droids. Also with their special rules is they have a special Magna Guard that also counts as a core unit, and we're going to go into that right now. The actual experimental droids are very different. The Persuader class has an experimental type. It loses the transport capacity and gains command node. Interesting, makes it a bit more unique. It also has Arsenal 3. It's a bit technically more deadly, but I don't really see a reason to bring this over the original, other than maybe getting that extra order out. And then the IG-100 Experimental Droids Magna Guard unit, which loses some damage and keywords but gains the core keyword for the battle force as well. The CIS did need another core unit, and this is actually very good. Having a red save core unit is amazing always, and even though this doesn't have any surges, it's still pretty good in both ranged and melee. Now that we are done with the battle forces, we have a new roadmap of new releases for the next year. The Bad Batch and Ghost Crew were not mentioned in this, unfortunately. No Clone Wars era Ahsoka announcements either, despite being previously hinted at. So, let's get into what was actually announced and what the next few years of Legion look like. Starting off with the Geonosian expansion, The minis look beautiful, and they can be used in normal separatist lists, thank god, not Battle Force locked like everything else is these days, as core units. They have jump, scale, and a unique cover ignoring ability called Death from Above, where if you are in cover above an enemy unit and are looking down, you ignore cover, which is fantastic. They do also have weight down, which means no carrying the objective and jumping, which is pretty balanced considering how cheap these are going to be. They have 3 unique upgrades. One is a melee and suppressive close range force spike. Pretty good, actually, to have a nice melee ranged option with this group. The other is another body with the Geonosian Warrior, just same as the main units. And the last is a Sonic Cannon Warrior, range 2, scatter, and impact 1. In general, this is really good set of upgrades for these guys, and just alone, I think I might buy 3 units of these Geonosians to run alongside my B1s and maybe some B2s too. Next up, we have Sun Fac and Poggle the Lesser. Seeing Sun Fac here was quite the surprise, actually. I am genuinely surprised that out of everything they could draw from, they chose Republic Commando. But hey, this is really fun for me. He has the same keywords as the Geonosians, however he also has Cover 1 and Direct Geonosian Warriors. With white saves in both surges, he is a very nice addition to have. Poggle the Lesser is more focused on droids, allowing him to compel any trooper unit, not just Geonosians. He only has surge to hit, so a bit more squishy as well, try to keep him in cover a bit more. And now onto their command cards. Sun Fac has a single command card. It is a 1 pip that lets 2 Geonosian troopers get a jump 3 move, and gives some agile and demoralize 1. An amazing movement option to an already move-heavy unit. Poggle the Lesser has a normal 3 cards. The 1 pip lets you issue 2 orders at range 1 and give non-panic droids fire support, along with letting him make 2 attacks as activation. This is really good, because having fire support against clone units can actually be very useful. The 2 pip lets you replace Sun Fac's direct keyword with a coordinate keyword. Also pretty nice, useful in certain situations. And the 4 pip he has is treated as a 3 pip for building, and it lets you return a defeated core mini back to the field with no wound tokens. This is made to be like the droid factory of Geonosis. You can just drag units back from the dead. Running Poggle with 3 B2 droids, and if the enemy doesn't focus them down and just kill 1 unit, you could theoretically get a large section of those 3 units back. This is just, it's cool. Like, I love a card like this. This makes me want to have Poggle. So he's coming along too. Next up, for the Empire, the 5th brother and 7th sister join the fight. With a very complementary set of cards and skills, they're here to be a very cost-effective pair of Force users. The 5th brother is focused on moving fast into melee and within range 2 getting in some good charges. The 7th sister has Block, Charge, Discipline 1, and Interrogate. She has much more of a keyword stack, but still very solid. And by the way, when I say like join the fight and coming up, the release dates are still a little farther off for all of these things. Nothing's like coming out tomorrow. But that being said, they will be out within the next year, is my understanding. I did not take notes on release dates when they talked about it, so my apologies. The 5th brother and 7th sister's command cards are also super complementary of one another. They're very much meant to be taken together. The 5th brother cards lets him permanently buff the pair and lets him give Dauntless 2 to 2 other troopers. Not bad. The 7th sister also lets her buff the pair, and her 3 pip lets her gain to demoralize and nerfs nearby enemy aim tokens. Once again, the Empire is getting a lot of really good stuff, and it doesn't just stop here. Now onto the rapid fire reveals. The Republic Commandos and Delta Squad confirmed as well, very well deserved and much needed. They can switch out their weapons to suit what is needed, and it just look absolutely fantastic. The Imperial Ranger Troopers, most likely from Solo, from what I can tell. A very cool Empire unit. Running these in a Scarif-based force is getting even more tempting, and I will probably be doing it. Because I love all the new Stormtrooper designs in those movies, and I think the helmet design actually matches the Scarif Troopers pretty well too. All in all, a pretty good addition to the Empire I wasn't really expecting, and actually, I think worked really well. And I know people saying Empire gets everything. Well, everything got something this time around. A Separatist Crab Droid in early development. Really cool. I absolutely love these things. I'm going to have to get a couple. Andor-inspired Rebel Saboteurs. They look absolutely fantastic. Meant to, like, evoke a feeling of rebellion citizens standing up and fighting up against the Empire. I might have to get a whole bunch of these and run with the Scarif-inspired list now with Andor and Jyn at the helm, because now we'll probably have a slot for everything as I believe these will probably end up in a core unit. Now, on to even more rapid fire, we have new scopes. They're changing all their soft plastic into hard plastic, starting with the Rebel Commandos. And these are going to be coming out in the next 2-ish years, is kind of the roadmap they gave. But the Rebel Commandos look very nice. Then some new Stormtroopers, who again look very nice. You can tell how they kind of model it off the current Stormtroopers, but still give that nice feeling, and that I love the look of the Stormtroopers, and these look good. And it'll be nice to have them in hard plastic. Next up are 2 minis I did not like the look of before, a new Luke and a new Leia. Now we just need a new Han, and we have a real good trio of good-looking people to take together in the Echo base battle force, because I absolutely love running everyone in that battle force, at least theoretically, point-wise. We have a new sculpt for Vader, which looks absolutely fantastic. This is meant to be a Commander Vader sculpt, not that it really, in my opinion, matters all that much. And that is the end of the rapid-fire reveals. A lot of stuff was revealed, and the next years of Legion look very bright. We are getting a lot of new resculpts in the next few years, which is very much needed. That is one of the biggest surprises out of this entire Ministravaganza for me. I knew new reveals would be coming, but the fact that they're actually going back and improving on older sculpts and wanting to release them actually is really good, and I love the idea of it. The love for the Republic and Separatists was amazing. I love how much from each of them was revealed. Although the Republic really only got the Battle Force and the Commandos, there's still the Bad Batch, there's still Clone Wars era Ahsoka. We have so much more stuff to look forward to that they have previously confirmed. We just didn't get a look at them yet. In general, I went in with low expectations, because again, this is my first Ministravaganza. I just got into Legion in February of this year. So seeing it get this much love and attention made me really revitalized for just the state of the game and how it'll be. In general, I try to keep a good opinion on things, so, just a nice extra thing to toss on. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I will see all of you next Saturday for our normal Legion Saturday. Sorry this came out a little late, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything with Ministravaganza. Have a wonderful day all, and I'll see you all later.